Yeah, trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the Carnivore Evolution podcast. Today's guest is going to be Jackie. I've been working with Jackie now for the last couple of months. She's going to go through our weight loss journey. She's been doing carnivore for the last couple of months. And so we're going to all talk everything carnivore very, very shortly. We also have Victoria. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Jackie, how are you today?
I'm great, Mark. Thanks. Thanks to you, Mark. I've come a long way.
Amazing. So we're going to, okay. So you're going to talk. So no, you're okay. We're going to talk everything carnivore shortly, but I want to go back before you actually did carnivore. So what was life like for you when you did the diets in the past? Why couldn't you not stick to a diet? Like what did you try? Yeah. Tell me everything. It's like, say, 10, 15 years ago.
I suppose, I started out, I've done an extremely low fat diet, the hip and thigh diet when I was in London back in the early 90s. So literally cut the fat off everything. The fat was the demon, ate the white of the egg, didn't eat the yolk, probably threw it away, which is criminal.
Yeah.
I did the Weight Watchers, Slimming World, the usual. And, you lose weight for a while, but, it never can last because you're still addicted to the carbs, it always gradually came back on. I've never been grossly overweight. I've just been a bit overweight, that sort of way after my kids, I suppose, once I got into the 30s and 40s. And gradually then, I suppose, menopause, just gradually, I just feel I didn't get away with anything, and the pounds just kept going on, I'm only 5'2", so I don't have a lot of stature to hold the weight, but I just consistently tried those type of diets, never lasted long term. And then in 2018, I think it was, I just came across Dr. Berg online on YouTube, and it was Eric Berg. It was him that kind of taught me, I suppose, initially about, insulin resistance really, or the low carb, the keto diet, I suppose. That's how I kind of got into it. So I started keto in 2018. I did well, over about 6 months, probably lost, stone and a half, 20 pounds or so. I felt great, but just kind of went off it then, and just kind of gradually carb creeps came back again, and, just didn't stick to it, I suppose. I suppose when you're doing keto as well, you're still having some of the carbs, you know what I mean? So I think it's easier to fall back into the bad habits again.
So that was 2008. That was 2018. Yeah. So again, how long did you do that for?
I did it for about 8 months, I'd say. And probably since then I've been touching on it, on and off the last couple of years. But not really sticking to it properly, so I knew I needed guidance, I knew I needed help from someone,
Did you realize you had a food problem? Did you realize that did you know anything about food addiction, sugar addiction, or did you just feel, okay, I just need to be in a calorie deficit?
Over the years, you'd say you had a sweet tooth, you know what I mean? And always had a healthy appetite, you know what I mean? Of course, being from Wexford in Ireland, we love our potatoes, love my bread, of course, and it's just so addictive, But just got in touch with you this year because I had an important family event, and I really wanted to. I had gained a lot of the weight again, and I just felt I really needed to do something. And
what was the turning point, Jackie? Like, what did you learn about the carnivore diet before you reached out to me?
I've been looking at all the carnivore doctors: Ken Berry, know him well, Anthony Chafee, And I mean, just with the history, with my background of healthcare, I'm just really interested in all the health, because we never learned any of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basic about diabetes, and obviously when I trained, type 2 was like adult onset diabetes.
Yeah.
And wasn't as prevalent as it is now. But I just have an interest in health. I want to keep my own health, I suppose. I'm 59 now, so haven't got grandchildren yet, but hopefully someday I want to live well into my father's 86. He's doing really well. He's always ate a healthy, not, I suppose, ketogenic diet, but he eats a lot of meat. He eats the fat on the ham and the fat on the bacon, and he eats, I suppose, a whole food diet. He doesn't eat a lot of sugar or sweet stuff, or so I think it just shows, what a healthy diet can do. He's still quite good. So I just want to live healthy. I see too many people suffering in their 60s and 70s even, with just poor mobility even,
Yeah, it's very, very sad, isn't it? You see people that are younger than us, and
Yeah.
you can clearly see they're in a lot of pain. They're probably on a list of medication. We only had Dr. Malcolm Kendrick on last night. We're talking about statins, and we were talking about the amount of people that are on them, and we were saying that there are some benefits for in some cases, but so many people are just taking them for no particular reason, because they've been told that, okay, these are gonna help you, these are gonna improve your health. And I think the key word that you mentioned there, Jackie, was health. Because a lot of people are convinced that they just need to lose weight. That's all they need to do. Just lose weight and you'll be healthy. But they have no idea why they can't stick to a diet. Because most people that you ask, especially at your age, and they're going through menopause or they're dealing with issues, whether it's autoimmune issues or thyroid or whatever it is, they're absolutely convinced that they just need to diet. Forget about the food that you're eating. It has nothing to do with the food.
Yeah.
It's just that you need to be in a calorie deficit, lose the weight, go to the gym. This is the recommendations from these doctors, from these healthcare nurses. I know you work a little bit in the healthcare system at the moment. So what's your views on this?
I just feel people, I think in Ireland anyway, people trust the doctors, like they trust the medical system probably too much. I've spoken to family members myself, and I've talked to them about statins. I have a concern in my family about cognitive issues. And I've spoke about the statins and whatever, and I don't believe, this person is that high a risk for heart disease. Do you know what I mean? But I really feel the statin is affecting the cognitive, health. But I have to show by example. I think I'm not on any medication. I suppose I'm lucky. I've never really been ill in my life. The only time I've been in hospital was having babies. But I'm not, not on any medication. And I've always, even though I'm a nurse, I've always been kind of a little bit anti-medication. I don't want to have to live by pills,
Exactly. Yeah.
But
It's just too easy to get them.
yeah,
And they pile them on because they create side effects for which you get another medication. And it's just this vicious cycle. You can't escape unless you really break free and make big changes.
I think,
Yeah,
people
no,
just,
I know that like we spoke about this last night. Like, we're not saying that there's no place for medication, but like Victoria said, it's been thrown at people for no reason. It's like, okay, you can get. I mean, you only need to look at what happened during COVID. You weren't even seen by the doctor. You were getting looked after over the phone. So you rang up. You were saying to the doctor, okay, I'm not feeling really well. Okay, I'm gonna send you some medication. Like, he hasn't even seen you, but he's like, I'm gonna send you a medication.
Exactly. Yep, that
Like,
happened to me too. Yeah.
people
you know what I
feel
mean?
people here are a bit like that though. If they go to their GP, they feel like they've wasted their 50 or 60 euro if they don't come out with a prescription. Like,
Exactly. Yeah, it's very sad, isn't it? It really is.
Yes. It's the way we've been made to think allopathic medicine is the answer. But
Yeah.
why don't we, as a group, realize and recognize that all the diets we put on and many of the medications we get don't really fix our problems?
No.
And we know now that the low calorie diet, the low fat diet is just going to make you lose muscle mass, which
Mm.
is a detriment, especially as you get older. You can't replace that
Uh,
easily unless you work
and
at it.
not only that, Victoria, but we know how important fat is for healing the body. So
Oh yeah,
if you're taking fat away from
absolutely.
the body, then
Hmm.
your health is actually going to turn to shit. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, or going to seed or vegetable oils
Yeah,
is just to your detriment as well, because it blocks any cholesterol your body makes naturally, which
yeah.
is going to try to do in the absence of animal fats. And
Hmm.
it's just it's terrible. It's just going to wreck your health metabolically, and that's exactly what's happening now.
Yeah, yeah,
But the message is still there. I picked up a book in a clinic yesterday, and it was printed by the Health Service Executive of Ireland, HSE, and promoting health. Just easy recipes. It was, I think, it was World Health Day or one of these world days anyway yesterday, and like it was all using seed oils in the recipes, low fat
Oh,
spread
mm,
to
mm,
heat your to fry off your onions or your chicken,
mm,
low fat spread, like
mm.
oh,
oh,
margarine. Yeah,
everything was low fat, like it's still,
nasty.
I don't
And
know,
see, we all go on about sugar, but in my opinion, the real damage comes from the seed oil.
yeah,
Yes, it does. I think you're not alone in that. I think a lot of experts are saying that because people who aren't even in the carnivore community are aware of seed oils. There's an
Yeah,
application you can get for your phone
yeah.
that tells you what restaurants are using them and not. So,
Because the
right,
problem is, Victoria, everybody knows that when you talk to anybody in the industry, they'll say, yeah, sugar is bad, but sugar in moderation is fine. But nobody in the industry talks about seed oil. Nobody says, okay, seed
yeah.
oil is bad, apart from us. But when you look at everything at the moment, everything has seed oil in it. Everything.
Mhm.
Junk food,
Yes,
everything.
yes.
Even
Crackers,
our
biscuits,
yeah,
everything. Hmm.
breads, like
Hmm.
everything has it. Everything has it.
A
And it's
lot of
like
soy and canola, and that's really bad stuff.
and it's like what Bart Kay says that if you've been damaging your body for such a long time, abusing your body with the
mm,
likes of sugar, processed foods, seed oil, constantly over and over and over again, you've done a lot of damage, a lot of damage. And this is when we talk about healing, and we talk about okay, what's the quickest way to heal the body? And it's not a low fat diet. You need to
yeah,
be
No,
on a high fat diet.
it
This is
yeah,
what's
hasn't
actually
been
going to heal
proven
the
so.
process. You know what I
Jackie,
mean?
I had a question for you, Jackie.
yeah,
Um, you were familiar somewhat with the keto diet and the concept of avoiding the carbs.
yeah.
Um, how did you feel acclimatizing to being a carnivore? Because it is still a change, a big change.
It is, yeah. I just knew I needed kind of a better long-term results, I suppose. I needed to stop the carbs creeping in, and stop the cravings, more so. And as soon as I did start carnivore, my hunger signals were just like plummeted.
Really,
Really.
so quickly, huh?
Yeah, it was so, and it's so, I suppose it's so simple as well. Now, obviously, I have a husband here and a daughter, so I can't be in a house without the carbs are there. But they didn't. Once I got into it, the first couple of weeks, like the carbs didn't bother me anymore.
Mm,
Even in work, you see, you're exposed to cakes and biscuits
Oh,
and
hmm.
whatever, and they just, yeah, the cravings just went away, which was so good,
mm, mm.
Um,
And it's an amazing feeling when you're in that situation and you're not thinking about food anymore. Because I was like you. I remember when I used to work, I'd be constantly thinking about food every 2 hours,
yeah.
constantly. I wouldn't be able
Like,
to switch it off. The minute I had my first meal, I'd be thinking about my second meal.
and you never get ravenous, like, do you know the way before you'd
Yeah.
kind of like, you get so hungry that you just grab the first thing you could get nearly,
Yeah,
like, but
yeah, yeah,
you never feel like that on carnivore.
yeah.
No, not anymore.
And
No.
you never had that fullness feeling either. It was like
Yeah.
after the meal, it's like, okay, what else can I have? I'll have a yogurt, or
Yep.
Feel
I'll have a
stuffed.
bar of
Yes.
chocolate, I'll
So,
have a biscuit or something like that.
yeah.
Really.
You don't have to feel stuffed, like you
Mhm.
feel just satiated, but you're not, over consuming either. You're not bloated, and
Yeah. So
but
let's talk about the health aspects. We won't talk about the weight
yeah.
loss yet. What has improved in your life, say, in the last couple of months? Well, give me some
I mean,
positives.
I just feel like I'm walking on air. Like I just have that lightness in my step. I was, I feel I wasn't suffering too much with any major issues. My two major issues, I suppose, was some joint pain, my left hip.
Mm,
When I get out of the car or get up from sitting, I'd be hobbling, for a minute or two, and then, it would improve. So I had a bit of joint pain there, and a little bit of reflux, GERD, kind of,
mm,
if I ate late or was out for a meal or something, I'd have to take just some Rennie kind of antacid,
mm.
um, it- but I have a hiatus hernia. I had an OGD last year.
Oh,
Um, like since with carnivore though, that's just disappeared. I haven't.
really? Good.
Yeah,
Good. Because I
yeah.
had one. I had to have surgery. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah, mine's just
Mhm.
small. I think quite small, and it's probably the extra weight on my middle probably didn't help.
Mm,
So I'm sure it's improved now.
mm,
But
mm,
yeah, I don't suffer. Like I regularly, I lay down at night, go to sleep, and this acid would come up into my throat. Like, it was
Mhm.
horrible. You couldn't sleep with it. So
mm.
that's gone. Which is great. Yeah, and the joints feel good. I'm able to exercise more. Um, and generally, I just feel I have lots of energy. So
Amazing, amazing,
good. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. And today, how much weight have you lost?
I've lost 28 pounds actually. Yeah.
Amazing,
So I
amazing.
say about 2 stone, like so, and in 3 to 4 months, like I'm delighted with that. And I had a 2 week holiday in the middle of that.
Yeah, yeah. And
You
you were saying you were menopausal during that time, weren't you?
well, I'm postmenopause now,
Okay,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
Amazing.
um,
28 pounds, like
it,
it's a
at
lot.
my age, I think that's pretty impressive. Like
Yeah, yeah, because a lot
It's
of
just been
people
2 months. 2 months, Carnivore.
for 3 to 4 months.
4 months. Yeah,
Wow, but still, that's impressive for a short
Mhm.
time. Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but no, I just found when I got into it, I just didn't find it difficult. If people would only realize when they cut out the carbs and cut out the nonsense, the fruit and all that, how they don't have to be hungry to lose
Yeah.
weight. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
I
And
want to
that's
I want to touch on that as well, Jackie, because a lot of people are convinced that when you go on the carnivore diet or the keto diet, you're removing the carbohydrates, so automatically you're going to lose a lot of water weight because
yeah,
you're removing the carbohydrates. But when you introduce the carbohydrates back in again, you're going to put the weight back on. So people are saying, okay, well, what's the point? You're better off living a balanced lifestyle, eat in moderation. So
mm,
you've done both.
yeah.
What are your views?
Um, well, I don't think we can ever eat in moderation if we're eating carbohydrates. It
Yeah,
just doesn't.
Yeah.
It
Good
doesn't
point.
work. Like
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
they're
Mhm.
just they're too addictive. Like, and it doesn't have to be
yeah.
sweet things like bread, pasta, rice.
Mhm.
Mm,
Like,
Mhm.
unless you're wearing a glucose monitor, which I think is a good tool for people if they
mhm,
show them what happens to your blood sugar when you eat bread even. But
mm.
um yeah, I just you just can't do it long term. It doesn't work long term with the regular diet
No,
fads because your addictions are still there.
yeah.
And
And like what we mentioned earlier on, you should never be in a position where you're eating every 2 hours. You shouldn't be thinking about eating
yeah,
food every 2 hours. You should be
like
only eating probably once or twice a day, and that's it. You're done.
yeah. I eat about twice a day now, really, and I've no problems with that. I go to work without breakfast. I'll have a black coffee, go to work, and then maybe around 11, I'll start work around 7, 11, I'll have some eggs or a bit of bacon maybe, and a bit of I'll have a bit of salad with my lunch at work, like a bit of meat and salad or cheese or whatever, eggs. But that satisfies me then,
And what's been the feedback around you? Like, what are your friends, family, what are they all thinking about it?
I haven't had, like, I've had the comments, like, which I was waiting for those comments, I didn't say too much to people what I was doing at work and stuff, because I know people would be kind of like, you're not eating, you're eating meat, like, just whatever. But when I started getting the comments then, oh, you've lost a lot of weight. And my husband said to me one time, what did he say? You're fading away, Not quite, I don't think that'll ever happen, but I'm losing my track now. But what was the question again, Mark? Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, what's been the feedback with the family and friends?
Oh yeah.
Since you've gone on this approach.
They're like saying I look really well, you know what I mean? And
are they worried about you? Like, because we all hear the cholesterol myth and the fats. Are they worried? Have you had that conversation?
I said to them, look, I said, cholesterol is not, fat isn't the bad guy, like, here, you know what I mean? It's the sugars, like. But it's amazing to, you see, even on television, sometimes you see people cooking a recipe and they always mention the butter is the bad. The chefs, like, they say, oh, we'll push a bit of butter in, don't worry,
Yeah, as if we should make an exception for it.
The flour, the bowl of white powder, like, there's nothing about that being not healthy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly true. You become really aware.
And it's just the opposite, like, you know what I mean? But no, I've had very positive feedback from family and friends, but it's hard to convince them. Yes, maybe I need a bit more time to show them long term.
It all comes back to the. It all comes back to the. It all comes back to the addiction, though, doesn't it, Jackie? In fairness, like, I think a lot of people need to realize that they have a problem in the first place. Like, if you mention to an alcoholic, okay, you're an alcoholic, he's going to turn around and say, listen, I don't have a problem. There's nothing wrong with me. Or a gambler. So when you talk to family members and you're explaining to them, like, listen, you don't need carbohydrates. Of course they're gonna say, well, I do need carbohydrates. And this is something that I say to people on a regular basis when they say you can have carbohydrates in moderation. If you eliminate them, you're gonna have problems. And then people say, well, if you eliminate them, you don't need to eliminate them. And I'm like, well, you clearly don't know what an addiction is. Just go 1 week without eating carbohydrates, just 1 week, and I guarantee you won't last. You won't last, because I know for me, and I know all three of us are probably in the same position. It took me a very, very long time to understand that I had a carb addiction, and it took me nearly about 4 to 6 months before I was like, okay, I've hit the nail on the head. I need to get rid of this, full stop, because this is not doing good. This is not doing good for me at all. And this is all carbohydrates. This is not just down to processed sugar. We're talking about like your healthy carbohydrates, guys. Your oats, even fruits,
vegetables.
Fructose is just as powerful.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, what Jackie mentioned earlier. We live in a country where we're known for our potatoes. Everybody eats their potatoes, but again, sugar, sweet potatoes. The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what really frustrates me when people say they don't eat sugar, and then you ask them, okay, what's your diet like? I eat fruit, I eat oats, I eat potatoes, I eat bread.
That's like, another country, Mark, porridge, like, or oats, porridge. Like, people think that's so healthy. You know what I mean?
Yes. That was doing yourself a favor to eat that stuff. Eat oats.
My sister does overnight oats. They think it's so healthy.
Yeah, I did it for years.
Yeah.
I was convinced that the diet that I was on was healthy.
Yeah. It's like the message you get. Like, the last time I had my bloods done, maybe about 1.5 years ago, I don't go to the doctor very much. I avoid them. But like I got a call about my cholesterol was slightly high, like 5.5 total, I think.
Mm.
And they keep changing the limits as well. You know, it used to be you're okay on,
Yes, they lower it, the
and then
threshold.
you have to be under 5 or whatever. And the recommendation I got from the nurse was like, just over the phone, like, avoid red meat. Like, and I felt like saying, you know, this is totally the wrong information. Like, you know, cut down on your fat, eat your low fat spreads or whatever. And yeah, only have red meat once a week or something like that, you know?
And so you can't blame them because that's what they were taught.
Yeah.
That's what they were, you know what I mean? They're only doing their job and they're listening to the experts, as they say. And it's just
Yeah.
like, listen, we're just giving you the advice here.
Yeah.
And I can understand both sides of it because I know a few people that are working in the healthcare system. I know yourself as well, but yeah, it's just I know everybody has to work, everybody has to earn a living, but it's just it must be hard.
It's like I did it all myself. Like I used to have the skimmed milk,
Mm,
cereal, skimmed milk, you know, the fat-free diet, you know. It's
yeah,
just what we were all led to believe, you know,
yeah.
be low fat.
And when we look at our healthcare system in this country at the moment, Jackie, I mean, how long are we waiting for our hospital to get built?
Huh?
Our hospital, the big one in the city
Oh, I
centre.
know, yeah, the
It's
children's
nearly
hospital.
what is it nearly what's nearly 10 years in it's getting looking at to
Yeah,
get built and
and
it's still
it's
not
going to
built at the moment.
be one of the most expensive buildings in the
Yeah,
world by the
two
time.
2.5 billion
Billion.
taxpayers'
Yeah,
money and it's still not built yet.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
So it's
every second person that I talk to, everyone is really struggling and everybody cannot wait to get on that waiting list because they're absolutely convinced that they need to go and see the doctor. The doctor's going to have their best
yeah,
interest when it comes to their health.
like,
Honestly,
yeah,
the people where I live, honestly, it's so frustrating that they're a lot younger than me and they're in a really, really bad way. And I mean a really, really bad way.
like I met a girl on Ozempic there. Lots of people on it and whatever, but and her meal the previous day, you know, have to come fasting, whatever. The meal the previous day was fried chicken and chips. So like I'm like, it's not going to
No,
work. Like it's
no,
not
they're
going to
not
work like
learning how to eat. They're not
still
learning
eating
about
like
food.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mm,
they're still eating the crappy diet. Like it's not going to work long term.
exactly.
mm.
Mm.
Yeah,
And isn't it
and
amazing? And isn't it amazing that any disease that you have, any insulin resistance problem you have, whether it's high blood pressure, diabetes, weight issues, you're dealing with your mental health issues, we have a solution for you. It's medication.
Yeah,
There's nothing mentioned about lifestyle. There's nothing
no,
mentioned about nutrition. We have the solution for you. And that's what we're
yeah,
seeing at the moment is that they're feeding you the problem. And then when you have serious problems, we're going to sell you the solution.
yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem right there.
Just all focused on pharmacy, isn't it? All
Yeah,
medication, you know.
oh, it's a
yeah.
huge industry. Yeah,
Huge,
Yeah.
billions. They make billions every single year. And I put a post up the other day on my Instagram. They've been in business now for, I think it's over 200 years. Pharma and Pfizer and all these big
hmm,
companies. Name one disease they've cured in that time.
Mm.
Just one. And then they go on about the vegan diet as well. I put up a video about this the other day. Everybody keeps on telling me that the vegan diet is one of the healthiest diets you can do. Again, name one disease, just one that's cured, just
no,
one.
mm,
Like even if you say to people about plants, like, you know, and the oxalates and the, you know, the anti-nutrients or whatever in plants,
yes,
like that's just not a known thing. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, no.
I've told people about who's had kidney stones, like about Sally Norton's book, Toxic
hmm,
Super, you know, and they'd never
Mm,
heard. One lady ended up in ICU because of a kidney stone. And I said, like, did anyone ever mention oxalates to you? No, I'm not saying that was maybe that wasn't the whole issue. I don't know. But she said, no, she said, and she nearly died, like this lady, you know. But like everyone just presumes fruit and vegetables are healthy, like, don't they, you
mm,
know, in the
mm.
yeah.
general. in the general
Well, I've had a
population.
kidney stone, and my doctor did say stay away from certain vegetables. He gave me a sheet, and also
Mm,
on that sheet was red meat. But
right.
and I had that last year, the kidney stone, while on carnivore. But that's because your body is shedding those oxalates,
Yeah.
getting rid of them. And this
Mm.
Yeah.
one came out in a big cluster, so but
Yeah.
that's not very pleasant. But people
Mm,
just aren't aware of how important protein is as well. And
hmm.
most people my age, I'm in my mid 70s, they are just living on tea and toast. That's all,
Mm.
and they'll have a little. Maybe they'll have some cheese,
Mm.
and they're keeping their weight down, but they're not getting any nourishment, and they're getting sicker and more osteoporosis. That's
Mm.
Mm,
especially true among my friends. It's just
yeah.
really a shame that they aren't aware
S-
protein supports your bones.
Sarcopenia as well.
Sarcopenia as well, yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
So many people have digestive issues like
Yeah.
indigestion, IBS, like there's so much of it, and like
Mm-hmm.
they just cut out carbohydrates for
But
a
why do
week
people
or
at that?
two.
But you guys know better than I do. Why do people at your age they feel like, you know what? No, I'm at an age now. I want to enjoy myself now, and they base everything around food. It's like that's their enjoyment.
Well, food is the
It's
new
It's
entertainment, Mark.
mm,
You can see it like how
mm,
things have changed even since COVID. Kind of people had better social lives, I think, before COVID, or people used to go out and dance like
yeah,
years ago
yeah,
and things. That doesn't happen really anymore.
no, no.
Kind of sad, really.
We've lost our identity, haven't we, in the last say 30, 40
And
years? Definitely.
yeah, and you can see, sure, it's just when people go out now, it's all restaurants, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
eating.
Mhm.
Food is entertainment now. It
yeah,
really is.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the same with where I live at the moment. Like I could have went into my city centre say 20 years ago, and you could have went into a
yeah,
decent restaurant, and you would have got a good decent meal. I can't see any good restaurants in the city centre
mm,
anymore. It's all processed food. There's
mm,
casinos, there's McDonald's, there's all these fast food restaurants. It's all it's all pointed in the wrong direction. Just addiction. Everything
yeah,
is
Yes.
just pointing in the wrong direction. It's all
Mm-hmm.
based on you're going to come back. You're going to keep coming back all the time. Whereas
yeah,
when you had a good restaurant in where I lived, you'd probably go once, probably every couple of weeks because
yeah.
you get a good
Or we
you
didn't
get a
eat
good
out
meal.
when we were
Yeah,
young.
yeah,
Rarely we didn't eat out, and there wasn't the places to go to either. People ate at home, like
yeah, yeah.
proper
And
home cooked food.
yeah, and it's such a pity because everything's going up at the moment now, but the only thing that's not going up and it's more affordable is actually processed food. So people can actually
Mm,
afford to eat crap, but they can't
yeah,
afford to eat like the proper nutrition. And
mm,
Yes.
I see this in my local supermarket. Like you can go in and buy a whole box of like chicken thighs with processed stuff on it, no problems, and it'll only cost you about £6. But if you
mm,
buy like a packet of chicken breast or some red steak, you're looking at about 12 euro. So
yeah,
it's half
Yeah.
the price. It's double the
that,
price.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly true. I've seen that too.
yeah,
so people
yeah,
don't have a choice. People are like, okay, well, I can't afford this. So
yeah.
what do I do?
And that it's really become a problem the last year or two, hasn't it? The price of food, like it's
Oh,
just
it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
really,
Like I don't
Oh,
buy my meats. I don't buy my meats in the supermarket. I buy it off my local butchers, and it's even more expensive.
yes,
But I prefer to go out. I prefer to buy it off the butchers because I know where I'm getting it from.
yeah,
So even though what I'm doing is I'm investing in my own health. I'm
mm.
lucky. I'm in an unfortunate position where I can do that. A lot of people can't do that.
And
You
like
know
you're
what I
probably,
mean?
and when you're eating that way as well, you don't have to supplement all these
No,
expensive,
no.
um, like collagen supplements and all that. They're all expensive.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And
uh,
that's something that I
spend the
always
money on the meat instead.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
actually a good point, Jack, because this is something that I'm constantly saying to people. Like if you want to be more relaxed about money and be in a stronger financial situation, well, first of all, you should be looking after your health because you're going
yeah,
to spend less time going to see the doctor. You're gonna
yes.
be spending less time spending money on supplements. spending less money on medication. So
Even
what you should do is, so the best
fees.
way to do that is just go on an animal-based diet, because that's going to eliminate everything for you, because you're
Yeah.
only just eating meat. That's it. And it's gonna save you in the long run.
It's very expensive to be sick, isn't it, in this
Oh,
world?
it's incredible. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like in your country, Victoria, but to go and see a doctor in this country, just to have a checkup, you're looking at about 75 quid, and that's only going to last for 5 minutes. So you walk into
Yeah.
his office, you'll ask him, you'll tell him what the problems are. That's going to cost you €75, something like that. Then he's gonna give you a list of medication. That's probably going to cost you another 60 quid. So you're looking at over 100 quid.
It's
Yeah.
even more
Just so
expensive here because you have to have very expensive health insurance, which can
that's what I was
cost
going
you
to say.
$600 a month. And then you show up at the doctor,
Crazy.
and sometimes you have an extra payment to make, pardon, a copay of $30, $40, $50, depending upon the
Wow.
doctor. And it's just a terrible ripoff. I'm on Medicare, which is for older people. Once you turn 67, I think you're eligible for it. And I pay $100 a month for extra health insurance because Medicare
Wow.
is a health insurance program. A lot of doctors will not take the Medicare, so you'd have to pay either cash or have that secondary insurance plan, which is fortunately for me only cost me a little under $200 a month. But it's such a scheme that you have to go up the ladder and pay and pay and pay.
Mm. Ours is not that near that expensive, but
No.
it's climbing all the time. But
Mm.
you get private health insurance decent level here for about maybe €1,000 a year, really.
A
Mm.
year.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's
Mm,
amazing. Unheard of here. Yeah.
Mm.
yeah. But then you have to pay your consultant when you see them, and you still have to pay, which can be like 250, €300 for a consultation,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
all
they've
money,
really,
isn't it? That's all it is. It's just all money.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
it's amazing. People have no problem paying this money on medication and going to see the doctor. But when it comes to real nutrition, people have a problem with this. They're like, I'm not spending that much.
they
I'm
A
not
lot
don't
of
want to
spending that
people,
spend
much.
it. They
I
have
think
they
a lot of
haven't been
people don't want to put
convinced
the
yet.
effort in
Yeah.
nowadays as
No.
well,
No, because it's the comfort. Because again,
Yeah.
it goes back to the addiction. They're
Yeah.
comfort eating. They don't want to be in a position where they want to get rid of the carbohydrates because they enjoy it. They don't want to
Yeah.
get rid of it because they look forward to their weekends. You ask most
Yes.
people when they go on a low calorie diet, they'll train really hard from Monday to Friday, but then when it comes to Friday and Saturday, what
Yeah.
do most people do? They order takeaway, they drink alcohol because
The
they have something
drink.
to look
Yeah.
forward to at the end of the week. So
Mm,
Yeah.
they're constantly in that cycle
yeah.
of addiction all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
It's the
resent
way
you
it's the
asking
way the
them to
world has
change.
been programmed, isn't it,
Yeah,
nowadays,
yeah.
Victoria?
hmm
To,
Yeah, it
for
definitely
the food
is
companies and
mindset.
yeah.
Because it's in our face all the time. Every time you switch on the TV, every
Oh,
second
yeah.
ad is alcohol, it's pizzas, it's processed
hmm
Oh
food.
yeah.
You hear
Deliveroo. Let them
the
deliver to your
Deliveroo,
house. You don't
Pringles
even have to.
ads. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's another good point, Jackie. Nobody cooks anymore.
Yeah.
Like nobody cooks anymore. You can order food, no problems.
Mm,
And
hmm
when we look at our kids, most places, schools, I know where I live, there's about 4 or 5 schools around where I live, and right next door is a fast food place,
yeah.
literally right beside the school.
hmm
So when you come out
And
of
the
school,
shops, the
yeah, shops
drinks
as
and the
well. So
sweets and
guess where those students are going
Oh,
when
sure.
they're on
Of
lunch break.
course.
mm,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And because now I want to touch a little bit on this because this is a huge issue at the moment as well, and that's obesity in children as well. And
mm,
these are only young kids. They're like 6 to 10 years of age, and they're all walking around with fatty liver disease, and nobody in the world has a clue what's going on. And if you
Yeah.
ask any doctor, they will say, "Well, fatty liver disease is all down to you're drinking too much. It's all down to genetics, getting older." So how do you convince a doctor that a 6-year-old is walking around with fatty liver disease?
You see, I feel a problem nowadays as well is we can't say, like, almost when when I was young, like a doctor or a dentist would give out to you if you had a bad tooth or something when you were young. You know what I mean? But nowadays, like, oh, it's a very softly approach, and you can't kind of, you know, I don't know whether, you know, they don't. I don't know, but not that you don't want to blame anybody, but people don't understand. But like, you have to realize, like, you know, a child that's obese, like, there's a problem there. You know, what are you feeding them? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can't keep on saying, we can't just keep on saying it's baby fat, you're going to grow over. It's puppy
Like,
fat, you're going to grow over.
yeah, it's, you know, but I think people are just too, I don't know if the nutritionists or the doctors, I don't know if they want to look at Ozempic on children now as well, rather than saying to people,
Oh,
look, you know, you
that's
need
so
to change the
frightening.
diet, you know?
Oh, it's scary. Honestly, it's scary. I only heard this a couple of weeks ago, and I'm seeing articles. People are sending me regular articles every week about they're thinking about putting all kids as young as 6 years of age on Ozempic, and I've seen it on with my own eyes on TV on Ireland AM this morning. I've seen kids as young as 12. Their parents are coming on saying, "Listen, we've tried everything. We've tried absolutely everything. We just cannot get our child to lose weight." And it's
Crazy.
Well, they
like,
haven't tried everything yet.
no, they haven't tried. They haven't tried.
They haven't
And then
tried.
when you do a video on it and explain what the problem is, TikTok remove it straight away. They just
Yeah.
remove
Oh
it.
my
It's like,
gosh.
okay, don't be giving out misinformation. This is the wrong misinformation.
Oh, that's awful. That's just awful that when that
Like,
It all
happens. Yeah.
happens to me all the time. Every time I put a video up, I'll get a strike or I'll get a warning, and it's always misinformation.
yeah. It's
Wow.
like,
Honestly, it's so sad.
yeah.
It's unbelievable how much control they have over us. It's unbelievable.
It's
Yeah.
You
terrible.
can't speak,
We-
and I
Mm.
know one of these days. I've always said this. I just need to get one break. Once I get one break, like Sophie Morris in this country, once I get one break, and I end up on one of these TV shows or one of these radio shows, I think Ireland's going to get a massive wake up call when they listen to what I
I
have to
hope
say.
so. I hope we all
I
do.
really
In
believe
this
that.
country, we feed children the worst. We feed
Yeah,
them the chicken nuggets, which is all processed chicken coated in some kind of breading and fried in seed oils. We feed them
yeah.
hot dogs, which is the processed meat, which is usually the lowest grade that we can find. And with that comes all the carbohydrates and treats, the sugary things
Yeah.
and sweet treats and
And the drink,
candy. It's all for kids. Halloween in this country is just
Oh yeah,
astounding.
terrible. Yeah,
My
the same in
grandkids
this
come in
country.
with their big pillowcases full of food. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
candy sugar. Yeah.
I mean, I remember back when we were younger, all we got was fruit and nuts.
we got peanuts in the shell, wasn't
Yeah,
it? And
yeah.
apple
Yeah.
things
You had
like,
to
Now,
work for
now,
those.
now it's like you're walking back with like 2 or 3 bags of sweets. I remember when my daughter was younger and we used to walk around the homes, like she used to get like bags of sweets, and I was like, listen,
Yeah.
half of that's going in the bin.
Yes.
She's not going to be eating
Yes.
all that.
It should. It should. Yeah. You got to
And
do
when we
that.
and when we look at what's going on in the world at the moment, parents want to spoil their kids. Like you're not talking about
Sure.
the same with Easter. It's the same with Easter. Like kids are not getting one Easter egg
Oh,
anymore
yeah.
now. They're getting about 4 or 5, or even I've seen kids that'll have like around 12 or 15 Easter eggs.
Yeah. It's
that's
just as
crazy.
bad here.
Like as I said, when we were younger, we would have got a treat probably once a month,
Yeah.
something like that. A treat once a month. And then when we look at what's going on as well, nobody goes out anymore. I remember when I was younger, my mother used to tell me, "Okay, go out and play." I used to be told to go out and play.
Me too. We went outdoors. Not here. Not
Yeah,
anymore. They won't even dare
happen
let their
doesn't happen
children on
anymore.
the streets.
No,
Yeah.
because they're all addicted to they're all addicted. They're watching the TV, the
So
Netflix. They're on the consoles.
The
you see
video
when you're out
games. Yeah.
shopping as well,
Yeah,
they're on their phones and their buggies, you know.
and then when you see and when you see what's going on in the world with anger issues, and we look at what's going on with like autism and stuff like that,
Oh,
everybody's
yeah.
absolutely convinced that this has nothing to do with the diet.
Oh
Nothing to
yeah,
Oh,
do with
my
the diet.
gosh.
I'm convinced
I'm
to get
convinced
children
otherwise.
early onto carnivore or even keto. Like the autism would massively improve.
Oh, 100%. I
You,
mean,
you
at
know,
the
the,
end of the day, it's not rocket science. We mentioned this earlier. What does the brain need? What does the brain thrive on? The
but
brain
also,
isn't. The brain is made of fats.
and going back to my training in the 1980s, and I never heard of autism back then. It
Hundred. I
wasn't.
think it was
Yeah,
about, yeah.
it's very
I think it
recent.
only came out. It came out in the 70s, wasn't it? Was the 70s or 80s came out on?
It wasn't on my radar as a nurse, or
No,
even dementia, Alzheimer's wasn't massively on our
Hmm.
radar at that stage.
that's
It
type 2.
wasn't a
That's
huge
type
part
3. Yeah, type
of it.
3
Not till
diabetes
the
is dementia.
90s. Yeah, we started seeing it in the
Yeah,
Yeah,
90s a lot more
I think
prevalently.
and
when people
and
ever being prescribed statins is when
yeah,
you
Oh
know.
because
gosh, yeah.
we actually have a guest. We have a guest coming up now. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Victoria knows him, but he's working in the he's working in the where is he working? Victoria, he's working in the health homes. He's working with the elderly. He has everybody on the
Oh,
carnivore
Hal
diet.
Cramner? Yeah, well, he is an
Yeah.
owner of 4 nursing homes,
Oh,
and these are private
I've heard
nursing
him.
homes, so they're relatively small. So he's
Yeah.
got about 10, 15 residents in each of those homes. He feeds them a carnivore diet. He has seen such recovery from ailments and also from Alzheimer's. He's sent people home. Now, he's available on YouTube if you want to look at Hal, Hal, Cranmer, Cranmer, and in Arizona. And he's just a miracle worker, but he is really pushing uphill to get what he's doing to be accepted. He's got some insurance agency behind him so that he can get some relief for his residents that they can pay through an insurance company. But it's just a very tough fight to get that because it's so crazy, people. And even the residents' relatives will bring candy, and he has to say, no, please don't do that because we're not on the candy anymore. Get it out the door.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's wonderful that he's doing that, but
It's an
he's
amazing
alone.
story though. It's an
Yeah.
amazing story. It really is because this is the one thing that really, really, really pisses me off in this country is the system we have here. Is that when you get to a particular age, you're just been left to rot. You're been left to rot, and it's
Mhm.
absolutely criminal. It really is. And when I
He
hear
wants.
stories like this, I can't wait to get him on. I hope he agrees to come on because I think his story needs to be shared, and I think a lot of people need to hear it because honestly, it's just criminal how what's going on in the world and people. What really, really frustrates me is this, and this is why I love having these conversations with the likes of you, Jackie, and other people that we've had on the podcast. Is that you can't make this up. You just can't. You've had your issues. Victoria's had her issues. I've had my issues. There's many people all over the world that have had similar issues to me. Us. There's over a
Mm,
million people now that are doing carnivore.
mm.
Why are we not looking more into this research?
Yeah, well, it's
They don't
threatening
want
to
to know.
people.
There's too much money to be lost.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly
Honestly,
that.
it's
Too
just
much money to be
yeah,
lost. They're fully invested in the wrong way to eat, which is just killing us. So it's very sad.
Mm,
it really
mm,
is. It's unbelievable because we do our best to try and get these videos up, and
mm.
we try and do our best to spread awareness as quick as possible. But you can clearly see that when we put them up, it doesn't get anywhere near the traction it should be getting because you can clearly see that the people that are owning these channels don't want it up. Like you see
No.
with the likes of Ken Berry. Ken Berry's video should be going global. Everybody in the world should be seeing this.
Yeah.
It should be up on our ads when we're watching TV. You
Hmm.
should be seeing these people
Mm.
on these, you know what I mean?
Identification, which
Yeah,
doesn't really happen in this country, thankfully. I know
yeah,
in America on television, medications are advertised, aren't
yeah,
they?
Oh
A lot.
yeah,
yeah.
we're
That's
trying
on
to move
that's on
against that because it's ridiculous to sell to a consumer a medication.
yeah,
It's yeah,
because
so
they
they
know what
can
they're
go ask
because
for
they
it
know
by
what they're
name.
yeah, because they know what they're doing. They're going to pay the TV right and say, okay, listen,
Hmm.
we're going to pay you an extortion amount of money
Mm,
just to sell our brand to do what we want you to do.
Hmm.
That's what it all comes. Honestly, it's disgusting, and
mm,
honestly, it's just insane. It really is. I remember when I was in America, and every second channel I seen when I switched on the TV, they were all promoting Ozempic as if it was the next biggest thing in
Oh,
America.
yes. Yeah, we don't
And do
watch
you remember
commercial
this?
television anymore.
Do you,
Oh, no.
do you remember the Super Bowl this year?
Mm-hmm.
They had a whole segment at halftime on Ozempic. Now,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you look at the
They've got the
Super, when
money
you look
for
at the
it to pay for that. Yeah.
when you look at the Super Bowl, over 1 billion people watch that every year.
Yeah.
1 billion
That's great
people.
exposure. Yeah.
Unbelievable exposure. So,
And Mark, have you seen there's been a little ad on the television in Ireland recently, I noticed, and it was like talking about obesity, that it's an illness type thing. Have you noticed that?
I've
No,
seen
it's
that. Yeah, that's been going on for ages, though, Jackie. Everybody's been saying it's an illness. It's a
right.
disease.
Yeah,
It's never
it's
going to be cured.
no, it's kind of saying like it's okay, it's an illness, but
Mm.
I don't agree,
No,
but,
it's not. It's never going to be a disease. It's never going to be genetic.
yeah,
Never. At the end of the day, every
lifestyle.
no, at the end of the day, Jackie, every single one of us have to eat. So what
Mm,
are you putting into your mouth? That's what
Yes.
it all comes down to. You know what I mean?
and
What are you
I wish
putting?
I knew better when I was raising my
Yeah.
kids as well,
hmm
Because, I mean, you start them off on the baby rice and the Weetabix or
Yeah.
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
You
First
didn't
Yeah.
thing
know
is
any
the
better.
starch. Get the oats into
Yeah,
them, the rice cereal, baby
yeah,
cereal.
hmm
mhm, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Honestly,
awful.
and then the babies are screaming, crying, and you don't understand, and then you're feeding them like sweet stuff just to keep them quiet. It's
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just it's criminal. It's
apple
absolutely criminal.
puree
Oh.
or the
And if you're
strawberry
on a baby
surprise or
formula,
something.
if you're not
Baby
nursing,
food. Yeah.
And
yeah,
and when you
it's
think
awful.
about it, babies come into this world into ketosis.
Mm,
They're feeding
mm,
off
Yes.
breast milk. So
Yes,
mm.
exactly true.
and then just automatically we just move away from that straight away.
That's why I'd say to my doctor, if they ever talk to me about statins again and cholesterol, I said, the food with the highest cholesterol on the planet is breast milk.
Yeah, yeah,
So how can that be bad? Do you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Most natural food.
Yeah, same with this, Victoria, because it happens a lot in America. But like the same with raw milk. Like I was in America a few
Hmm.
times, and
Oh,
it has on
it's
schools
taboo here.
that
Forbidden.
raw milk is legal, but you can go in, you can feed your kids crap. You can give kids
Yeah.
crap in
Mm,
moderation, and there's no issues with this whatsoever. None.
Well, my mother
mm,
gave me raw milk when I was a child, my sister too, and she got it from the milkman. She had it delivered. And then somewhere between the time when I was a child, 60, 70 years ago, and today, you no longer can buy it commercially. And the milkman's certainly not going to deliver it. I used to buy it at an Amish store where it came right from the farm and it was labeled for pet, not for human consumption, for pets only. And I bought it anyway. And I made clotted cream from it. I made yogurt and creme fraiche and just used it as a milk because that was back when I was doing keto. And I was still using it when I started carnivore. But I don't do
Mm,
much dairy
mm,
anymore. But it always said not for human consumption. And it kind of surprised my husband when I brought it home the first time. He goes, "We're going to eat that?" And I said, "Yes, you are."
mm.
Because, just I could simmer it a little bit and do a little home pasteurization, but it wasn't that
Mm,
high end pasteurization that they do, and there were
mm,
no
mm.
mm.
additives, and it was delicious. It was wonderful.
Yeah, no,
Mm.
that's amazing.
Cream,
I tried it
cream would
myself.
float to the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Cream would
Yes,
naturally
yeah.
float to the
Hmm.
top. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's absolutely
But
amazing. It really is. I love it. Well, Jackie, I want to be respectful of your time, but before I let you go,
thanks.
there's going to be people listening to this, and they're probably in the same situation as you right now, and they're probably the similar age. If these people are listening and they're like, you know what, okay, well, I'm giving up on life, and it's never going to work for me, and I'm never going to get into shape. I'm never going to get into shape. I'm always going to be relying on the healthcare system. What advice would you give these people?
I would just say, just think about our history. I think, like a lot of the medical industry now, they look at these studies, study this, study that. But to me, the best study of all is looking back at our history, how we evolved, how we're hunters, gatherers. So don't fear the fat, don't fear the meat. It's what we've ate for millions of years. And if you're suffering, it will heal you,
Mm,
you know. So just try and cut out processed food to begin with. Eat real food, things that don't have a barcode on them or a packet wrapped around them. Start like that. Start with keto even. And start with your low carb veg, your berries and your meat and your fish. But like, don't fear the fat, the animal fat. It's what we need. Like, we need cholesterol to make vitamin D in the sunlight. Things like that. Like, our bodies are amazing. Everybody's body is amazing. We just need to know how to fuel it properly.
And if these people are
Perfect.
going to see the
Perfect.
doctor and they're been told, okay, listen, your cholesterol is high, should these people be worried?
Well, I think they need to maybe do their own research, start researching themselves, there's lots of books out there, YouTube, try to do your own research. The cholesterol, like heart disease, is multifactorial, cholesterol is just a tiny part of the big issue, and cholesterol mostly is there to heal the body, not to, we make cholesterol, so why would our bodies are not stupid, our body is an amazing feat of evolution, so trust your body, I suppose, but we just need to fuel it properly and get rid of the garbage.
Well said.
And drink water. You don't need to be drinking juices and fizzy drinks, and water is all you need.
Absolutely.
And you need salt as well. Like, salt is demonized as well.
Yeah.
We need salt, a good quality salt.
100%.
And your blood pressure will naturally come down if you're eating correct, low, if you lower your insulin, lower your sugars, that will naturally drop your blood pressure, which is a major cause of heart disease,
Yeah, see, cholesterol only becomes a problem when you start mixing sugar to it. That's when it becomes a problem. Otherwise, if you're eating, there's no evidence, none whatsoever, that saturated fat on its own was the cause of heart disease. None.
It's really
never,
true.
ever proven.
Well, heart disease was non-existent 100 years ago, basically.
Yes,
Up to
yes.
100 years ago, there was literally no heart disease, and they all ate animal fat. So how do you answer that one? Like,
Exactly.
Now, I wanted to
Anything
say
else you want to say,
that,
Victoria?
yeah, my husband recently started seeing a doctor who is a carnivore. His name is Adam Nally. You can find him on YouTube too, Nally. And he got a sheet with my husband's numbers on it, and he said, "Oh, I see your cholesterol is 253." He said, "That's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Never let it go below 200." And I quickly did a conversion from millimoles to milligrams when you said yours was 5.5, and that's 212 in the States. And that's really, it's fine. You don't want to go below 200. That's excellent cholesterol number.
100%. Well, Jackie, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've loved working with you. You know this. I've been speaking to you about this in the past. It's been a pleasure for me to see the progress you've made since day one. I've seen the pictures. I've seen the improvements in your overall health. I couldn't be happier for you. And like I've said to you before, you just need to keep doing this now. This is your life now.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to our meetup towards Christmas in Dublin, Mark.
We're definitely going to make it happen, 100%.
Yeah.
Really?
My dream is to go to the States someday to one of the meetups or the Carnivore meetups or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll meet Ken Berry someday.
Yeah. No, I'd be so jealous because the Americans have all these public speaking events, and I do be so jealous. I'm like, why
there hasn't been one in Ireland?
Why can't we not do one in Ireland? But I'm gonna honestly, I'm working really, really hard to make sure we get one done at the end of the year. The only problem I have is just getting people at it, Jackie. It's just getting people at it. The only problem I have is just getting people there. That's the only problem. I have no problem with getting people over. I mean, you said you would attend. I have a few people coming over from England. I have a few people that live in the north side that will come over. I have no problem getting people over. I just hope that we fill up the room, because if we fill up the room, I just want people. And this is going to be a free event, Victoria. I'm not charging anybody for this.
Mm.
This is going to cost me about $5 grand.
Oh my.
But the
Oh
reason
my.
why I want to do it is because I know if I do one, I can probably do about 4 or 5 in the new year. And it's all about
Mm.
just spreading awareness. I
Getting the
need
momentum
people,
going, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yes.
because I
Yeah.
know
Momentum.
when
Yes.
we speak to people, when we speak to people face to face, and we just have that interaction with people, and they hear Victoria's story, they hear Jackie's story, they hear my story, they hear everybody else's story in the carnivore community. People that were told that, listen, this was never going to be cured. Like, it's just stories like that. I want people to hear
Yeah.
this, and
Hmm.
I want to go over the fat myth, the cholesterol myth. This is what people need to understand, because I hear this
Mm.
every day on my walks. Everybody's always talking about diet. They're like, okay, what are we gonna do tomorrow? What food are we gonna eat? When are we going to the gym? And I'm like, guys, you're focused on the wrong problem. You're focused on the
Mm.
wrong part. This is the reason why you look the same every year. This is the reason why you're not making any progress. Nothing frustrates me more when I see a client that goes into the gym and they've been looked after the PT, and then 1 year later they look the exact same. They look the exact same. I'm seeing that regularly now in my gym, that you're paying money to this PT
Hmm.
to get information, to get the information that you're looking for, and to get in the shape of your life. And 1 year later, you still look the fucking same.
Yeah.
It's down to
They
diet.
say 80,
Really is
90% is what
diet.
you put in your mouth, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's honestly, it's
Hmm.
criminal, and it makes me even more frustrating when I see people that are overweight and they've been told to run on a treadmill. Just run on a
Mm.
treadmill.
Oh, they harm
Mm.
themselves. They destroy
Don't
their
worry about your
joints.
knees. Yeah,
Oh boy.
it's
Yeah.
just
That's
honestly,
terrible.
it's absolutely criminal. It really is. It's just
Yeah.
it really is. But as I say, Jackie, I'm absolutely over the moon that you've lost so much weight. I'm over
Yeah.
the moon that you've got your health back. I'm glad you
Yeah.
went down this carnivore approach. And as I said to
The
you,
only
you just
problem
need
I
to keep
have
doing.
now, Mark, is I have to go out and buy loads of new clothes. It's costing me a fortune.
Well,
I
I'm
know,
sure your
right?
husband's not complaining.
And I was looking forward to that, is going out and buying a couple of sizes smaller,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's all good. Yeah.
Amazing,
Yes,
amazing.
enjoy that.
Anything else, Jackie, for you want to say for you? Or
I know.
Victoria, anything else you want to say?
I just want to say thank you so much, Jackie. It's been so lovely meeting you. I really appreciate
Thank you.
hearing your story.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll
Yeah.
keep in touch, Jackie, 100%.
Thanks, Mark. Yes. Okay, Mark. Yeah,
All
no
right.
problem. All
Now
right. See you
I'll
now.
keep you
Okay,
on this, but
thanks.
we're just gonna turn her off now. Speak soon.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Bye
Yeah.
bye now.
Thank you. Bye now.